Thank you for joining me, sir. Quite a week for gold and silver and economics worldwide. What are you seeing? What's new this week that we can actually say is actually happening? Because it's very unclear from all the fake money news out there.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like this BRICS payment system is really catching on. I've seen where there's 159 countries now that plan on accepting it. There's more than 50 that already have, and this could be announced at a summit that they're having next month, this right before our election, but in October. I think that's going to be the big announcement, and this is going to really hurt the dollar. It could dethrone the dollar as the world's reserve currency. It's true. It's if the world's if how the world handles their currency, if that was our own personal finances, we would file for bankruptcy and start with a clean slate.
Right.
But for these different countries, they can't do that. So they need, as you've been saying for 3+ years now, some way to just reset everything. So the one thing in common that could make all of us buy into that is if we were to start with yet another currency, but not have it be fiat. Fiat's where it's not backed by anything real. So with this new currency, if it's a central bank digital currency payment system, whatever you want to call it, it's supposed to be gold backed. And I think that that's why we've seen the price of gold nearly double in price in the last 5 years. And it's only the beginning. I mean, people are saying it can go sky high from here, even north of 3,000. Yeah, we see a lot of manipulation. Today I spoke with a new client of ours that opened up a big retirement account and made a big cash purchase, and she just needed some reassurance from somebody that's been doing this a while, meaning me, and about why this is good. And it's like, she said, wouldn't it be better to go more heavy into silver? And I say, well, silver has a greater chance to double or triple in price than gold does, but silver is often manipulated specifically by Chase, and none of us know when that's going to end. We only know that it will end. And so in the meantime, any funds that go into silver it's a minimum 2 to 5 year hold for silver. It really is. So if you're thinking that, say, if you put $50,000 or $100,000 into gold and silver, you want to have a good mix of both. And if you need money, then sell some of the gold, because gold tends to go up very slowly over time. I feel like the last 5 years, it's gone up pretty quickly, but the all-time high is 2,530 an ounce. Today, it's just under 2,500 an ounce. So if you feel like maybe the train left without you, right now is a good time to jump back on.
Exactly.
It probably is going toward 3,000. And remember that gold going up in value is only our secondary goal. Our primary goal is to preserve what we have. And just to break it down just a little further, we know inflation has been real during the Biden administration. Let's call it 20%. It's probably more than that, but let's say it's 20%. During the Biden administration, the price of gold is up about 80%. So if you had a nice chunk of your portfolio in gold, you've offset what you've lost in buying power, which 20% of your buying power is lost, but you've offset it by 80% gains in gold, which is exactly what people use gold for. It's what the banks use gold for. It's the reason that the banks would hold gold and silver and tell you not to get it, that it's not a good investment, but that's what they're investing in. Yeah, so with a 401k, if it's a 401k that's generated at a company that you no longer work for, then you would be able to transfer that into a precious metals IRA. If it's generated at a company that you still work for, and if you're over 59 and a half, then you can roll that over. Otherwise, you would have to go to your human resources department, just ask them if they could make any exception where they could allow you to roll over a portion of that 401k into an IRA. Most of the time the answer is going to be no, but there are times when they say, well, we'll let you do 10% of it or 20% of it, but it's worth checking out. For an IRA, those can be rolled over into precious metals IRAs, regardless of age. Everything I've talked about with 401ks and IRAs are not taxable events. Please be aware that your financial advisor might tell you that it's a taxable event, but it's not. And once you get into our onboarding process and we get you over to the IRA custodian that we use that answers all your questions and helps you get the account open, they will cover all of that with you. They're actually legally qualified to talk about what the tax ramifications would be or wouldn't be. But it's a rollover. You have 60 days to roll it over into another retirement account before it becomes taxable. If it's after 60 days, then sure, it's a taxable event. Yeah, so it is a big benefit to have it stored at the depository. It takes like 1 day to get the account set up, and you get a statement that shows exactly how much gold you have there and exactly how much silver. So, for example, in the past, you, Mel, have bought 27-pound bag of silver quarters. It came in a bucket, but it's 27 pounds. So if you wanted to sell, all of it to me, I know how much is there because I know how much I sent you. But what would happen if somebody just wanted to sell back, say, $5,000 worth? Okay, what happens is we would have to tell you what we would pay for each quarter, and you'd have to count them out by hand. But if you have it stored at the depository, then all we do is we calculate how many coins it would be. And basically your gold is held on a ledger there at the depository, but it's physically there. And so is our gold and silver. So we would just let them know how many they need to transfer from your ledger over to ours. So we put that on a form, you sign the form, you email it back to us, and then we send it to the depository, and 2 days later they transfer it into our account, and then we wire funds to you. It's great because you don't have to lift up any heavy silver, you don't have to touch any old coins, get your hands all dirty, and the funds go right into your account. So
that's the easiest.
If we have problems here where, let's say that the only way that we're transacting is with gold and silver coins, then we could have some of them shipped to your house, and they charge like $20 to package up the box plus whatever the shipping is. It's totally worth it. And sometimes people, after having it there for a long time, they'll say, I want everything shipped to my house. Or sometimes they have stuff at home and they say, I want to ship that over there, and we help people get that done. So there's beneficiary rights. If something happens and you pass away, it can go to whoever you want it to. There can be joint applicants that have beneficiary access. So it's completely worth it. It's terrible. I mean, it's absolutely terrible. I've had to work for every dime that I've ever made my entire life. And it's like that people could just come in here and get that when it's not being offered to others. In fact, the homeless problem here in the Los Angeles area is like worse than anywhere I've seen. I mean, I know in New York it's pretty bad, but it's getting dangerous out here. I turned on the news this morning, and they said that there's this fire. It's called the Record Fire. They say that it was started at a homeless encampment. They don't know if it was on purpose or by accident. There's you turn on and you read about the public transportation, which we're fortunate enough to not need to use, but instead there are people getting killed and stabbed and robbed on a daily basis here in Los Angeles, and it's almost always because of the transient people. I think we need to focus more on them than giving the illegals like a home that they never have to pay for. It's outrageous.
Yeah, so well, we're paying for
me,
it.
All of this makes me want to just take pull in the reins on everything that I've ever worked for and just take control of it. And the banks aren't doing that for you. If you take control of it, then you get yourself some gold and silver, and you'll be in on the ground floor when we move into this central bank digital currency. Or I do think that here in the States, especially if we get Trump, we're going to come out with a better type of currency. We'll one up them, and ours will probably lead the entire world. But again, it's going to be programmable, where you could be subject to needing approvals if you want to buy things like gasoline or cigarettes or alcohol or things that are deemed that maybe you don't need. So regardless, I just want my purchases to be private, like they've been for the bulk of my life anyway. Yeah, so we've had people ask about the coins that come in the buckets, like the 90% silver coins, which are the pre-1965 dimes, quarters, and half dollars. So if that's something that you're looking for, you should probably get some. Put that in the notes section. That's those are regarded as what the type of currency that we might need to transact with if there was a power outage, if the power grid was completely down, whatever. But that's something that you should have a little bit of on hand. If you're looking to roll over a 401k and you don't remember what the qualifications were that I talked about today, then just put that right in the form. I'll have somebody reach out to you right away and help guide you through figuring out if it can be done. And if you want to figure out what type of gold you should have, do I get like the BRICS or the coins, or should I get the older coins? Like, what are the benefits from each? Then put that in there. But the most detailed that you could be could help me get you to the right part of our company to help walk you through the process. And just remember that this is never a high pressure deal. No one's going to tell you that you need to do this today because it won't be here tomorrow. It will be here tomorrow. We want to try to provide you with the information to be able to make an educated decision and not be pushed too hard or bullied into making a decision. We don't do that here. So that would be a good reason to reach out. Yeah, it's so for people that were thinking about reaching out to us, the product is still available, even though it's in high demand right now. Even though gold has been flirting with the all-time high every single week, it's available and it's cheap. It's oftentimes the premiums of what gold and silver sell for above their actual spot price are considerably higher than they've been this year. And right now they're very, very, very low. So it's time to reach out while you can. It won't always be that way. The rest of the year is going to be very, very, very interesting to see how it all plays out. But I would want to reach out sooner than later.